Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of The Roottrees Are Dead. Now, last episode ran on a little long for me, so today's will probably not be quite as long. And yeah, don't worry, it'll still be just as good. So, without too much yapping, let's get into it. Do not quite remember where I left off exactly, but it's okay. We are going to take a look at our tree, and I guess we'll just figure it out. Okay. Let's take a look at our evidences. That is a lot of evidence. Oh, that's neat. Apparently this cane mailer has a lot of clues attached to it seems. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his box. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply, love our future. Or, love is our future. Handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could really use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. Do we know who this CM is? No, I do not think so. Alrighty. Well, let's just look up Stephanie Jones. You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mentions of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a very bare-bones website for her campaign. It's simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. Ah. None of this seems particularly important. As a side note, a video game called The Roottrees Are Dead was once set in Butler County, but it turns out the creator never lived in or near Butler County, nor even had any connection to Butler County. What a scandal. What a scandal. Okay. Spell Jones. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie won her election. You find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father, with my mother and her partner. Had an entirely female influence. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist, who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I am not a fighter. I want to bring new love to the world. So, alright. So, Stephanie, where would we put her? That is the question. thinking over there somewhere, because actually, no. Stephanie seems older than the Roottrees, so she's either in this line or in this line. Well, there's a lot of Roottrees in here, specifically these ones. This CM would be very helpful, I think. Maybe we should look up her husband. I don't think he's gonna be very relevant. Actually, no. Sorry. If I randomly pause, I'm either coughing, blowing out my nose, or opening the door for my cats. Don't worry about it too much. Try not to let those go on for a long time. I'm just having a total brain freeze. Right, husband. There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from 1995 about Jones' graphic and print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his family's father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to have not let it go to waste as marketing opportunity during an interview portion. I have been in and out of that shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it comes to getting the job done right. Getting it done quick. We have been printing oh my god, I cannot read today. Goodness. We have been a staple of Butler County for years. Even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages every few times a year. Thanks, by the way. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down to the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania, or search for us online. I designed the website myself. Okay. Doesn't seem very relevant, but it doesn't say it's irrelevant. I'm gonna look this up. Maybe he's printed like a secret 5-piece ad we don't know about. I wish I could right click paste. Now I have to my hand to freaking do the shortcut. Stephanie Jones, campaign mailers, Richie Company can do various banners and posters. Obvious. Butler County, Holiday Light post banners. Okay. Miracle Network tour flyers. Okay, yep. I don't know what I expected. Roottrees Motors. You don't find any trace of them on the internet as a local business. Maybe, okay. Go back. Anything else? School district. That might be useful. I think I'm gonna look up all of these just to see if they lead to anything. Alright, okay. First. Right, nothing there. I think we have the tour flyer. And you know, check, I think. What am I doing? Here we go. Miracle Roottree and his son, who goes exclusively by Miracle Jr., have appeared in the Butler County Times a great deal over the years. The Miracle Network, which is a collection of churches, television shows, and products that can be purchased, has multiple advertisements in each issue. Find one article mentioning legal troubles. Unfortunately, it's a throwaway line in an article about a tour they planned across the United States called the Three Generations of Miracles Tour. The author speculates they're going on tour to leave their legal troubles behind. Because of all the advertisements, the results in the Butler County Times are not particularly relevant to your search. Any attempts to find out more about these legal troubles is thwarted. I wonder what those legal troubles could be. Well, back to it. There's an ad for Roottrees Motors in the... Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to go grab some water. Getting quite dry. Anyway, there's an ad for Roottrees Motors in the paper. It seems Roottrees Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for Roottrees Motors has run every week in Butler County Times for many years, but recently has been changed to include a picture. 3 unique versions of the ad have been added to your evidence. Okay. There we go. Roottrees Motors ad that ran from 1974 to 1977. Advertised that the former name of Roottrees Motors was Wilkins Motors. Wilkins Motors is still a safe haven business but has joined the Roottrees family. Okay, so if it's Roottrees, it's probably one of the male Roottrees that they married to, you know, pass on the name. Or it could be like, you know, a Gwen situation where she just took her mother's name instead. Let's see. Nothing relevant here. Aha! Tessa Roottrees. Her newest fixture learned all there is to know from cars about her Roottrees Motors parents. Okay. So this Tessa, we're just gonna use this as an example. So this Tessa, oh, that's not related. So this Tessa here. Parent is like a male Roottrees, and her mother, or yeah, I'm going on the assumption that father is Roottrees and her mother is Wilkins. And see, I was right. Oh, wait. What if she has siblings? It's gonna be really inconvenient. What if I look up Tessa Roottrees? I'll look up that later. Nope, nothing. Okay. Well, we are going to... We're going to look up the pool. No. Okay. Anybody something useful in school? It's like, you know, I assume a lot of Roottrees have gone to this school. Maybe they're like really good at school. Anyway. Butler Summer Theater has been around for at least 30 years. They perform plays and musicals with cast and crew from in and around Butler County. There are a few hundred mentions of their performances, not just in reviews, but in many nearly identical advertisements for their box office and tickets, as well as yearly announcements of upcoming shows and seasons. They also tend to take out a full-page ad at the end of every season that says "Thank you" and lists the names of the shows that they performed with no additional information. So this year, however, it mentions that they have Let's see it. Oh yeah. Let's see it. Okay. Dinner makes sense. As it is not currently summer, the website has a thank you message. Thank you for making our 1998 season such a success. Stay tuned for announcements about performances in 1999. The website lists the credits of a musical, which seems to be the final show they performed last season. It's a cast list, but none of the names are relevant. Below it, the cast lists crew and 2 things stand out posters. Okay, yeah, we know who that guy is. I've seen this somewhere. Local dance. They advertise lessons for ballet and jazz classes, and there's hardly any other information. I mean, okay, well, the fact that it showed up something has got to be real. So, member studios, you have called this place No Mention Studios because you can't find any information about it anywhere. Nice thought. Well, I'm sure it's not. Still has a thing on it. Alright, nothing relevant on here. This still has importance in it. This is a page from 1975, 10-year anniversary. Okay, yeah, okay. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary is how similar the names are. And I get it, there are 4 Eli's for Pete's sake. That's just how it is. Someone would say, I saw Eli in town and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Uncle Junior, or Eli's Miracle, or EIC. Family names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. So now you see where my pop's name came from. Alright. Anger. Apparently this is the first thing she could find that she's ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger. She believes based on the teacher's name that she must have been in 3rd grade. She doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out here, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her she was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, your Pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble, and then Pop took her away. He told me, don't worry. I am glad she's gone. Okay. That was, well, that was something. Like this. Okay. Reading this back, I get deja vu as I write this addendum. Yeah, I think I did read it. Wait. Alright, Clark. Okay. I did not read that one. Okay. Alright. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrees has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob. Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Even I can blame her for that. As I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet. But neither of us ever took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would marry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I could only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could. Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped. More than I could say for Clancy or Edward. Okay. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as rock. Pun intended. So who knows what causes these things? I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel. And I imagine that they wouldn't last very long as a trio. Still, I don't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation can last. Lord knows I was right last time. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack here. So Eli C. raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Who is the father of Jim? Eli C. I'm assuming he's the father. See if he raised them both together. So I guess Eli moves here. You are not, Professor. Okay. Well. Back to the books. So there was also some other interesting stuff in there. Why am I not in it anymore? Right. Eli's marriage, she's fine. Randy saw his back. He's marrying Jane. Okay. I'm gonna assume this is the second marriage. This is a familiar last name. Sisters? Cousins? Kind of related. It's not a very common last name, I don't think. Oh, go back. We're gonna look up Jim again, just to refresh. Jane Roottrees, a singer who sings in a duo. Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. Duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder. The majority of the song plays guitar. The band's lead singers. Jim's music. Yeah, I know I have some albums. Is this relevant? Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on the stations that plays oldies. Yeah, that's why I've never heard of it before. One image from an auction for a sealed copy. This is only the great-grandson of Elias Roottree could make disco this sweet. Peter Janowicz from MMM. I think this is maybe he has other stuff to say. Oh look, another magazine. Oh my gosh. Okay. A review from 1979, titled A Reluctant Hitchmaker. Jim goes into his first band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J plus J&D. Band called C&J and J&D released one single called These Times. Someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently, this was Jim Roottree and Diamond LaRue's first song together. He also mentioned it performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister. Okay. Okay, we're gonna finish with this. It was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later works. You can't find anything else about this person, the band, or the single. So all that's left to do is to scan to your evidence. 35-minute download. Goodness. Oh. Alright, the website is also listed, yeah, okay, I knew it. Because, Lauren said that Clark was in a band. It all makes sense now. Okay. What is a sticker that plays folk style raw songwriting? Lyrics contain no clues. Okay. Not bad.
Life is life, love shall be.
Never mind, I don't like it.
You Someday will come, though, that this tree will be the last
I see
of
that.
what was we.
It's an identifiable mark. Let's see if the
Paths diverge, rivers rambling, onward surge.
Okay, so this must be Jimothy. And I believe Diamond is blocked. Yes. And this Clark, the one who's not being used. Alright, the song Lucky might be alright. Yeah, whatever. Well, got some non-relatives filled in, and this guy has another picture. That doesn't really help with our overall missing family member. Though I feel like if we keep digging, we'll probably be able to find the kids eventually.
Rose tinted by youth's memory, so act as though these times ain't fleeting. Love's
What if we just look at Clark? Did he come up?
For now, ignore fate's destiny. Two roads that cross once at this
Used to make music with Clark, and they mentioned an album called These Times.
will all be over.
We already read that. We're going to put that in our... We got it. A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has a short, pithy blurbs about new records. An album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column following These Times, a new single from C&J and D, Clark Purdy, Jim Roottrees, and two of the LaRue sisters. Amateur folk style songwriting is catchy at times, ultimately doesn't do anything new. Dang it. No, I actually did that. This is not helpful. Let's look up a LaRue sister. Maybe there's got something. Jane Del Vecchio is listed on a talent for hire site as a wedding singer. Way down the credential section of her biography, it mentions she got her start as a young girl when she was Jane LaRue of the Lucky LaRues. It also mentions that only contact her agent in the event that you actually wish to hire her, and that any and all inquiries about her past or her sister would be ignored. I am detecting some ill will between those two. The freak? This isn't helpful. It's fine. We're gonna put it in our magazine, because the magazine has all the answers. Obviously. An article from 1968, you find a small section focusing on a young upcoming talent that Modern Music Monthly predicts will make it big. It has to say this about the LaRues. The LaRue sisters got their start doing session work for their great uncle's record label. If you remember any songs from the 1960 to 1965 that featured the voices of kids, they were probably involved. Back then, they were credited as the Lucky LaRues. Now that he's passed, they moved on bigger and better ventures and are going by their full names. Diamond and James have been touring with some famous faces. I've heard the Roottrees and are looking to release an album sometime next year. Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway. Over for one of the children of Oliver. Kim. Let's see. Okay. So we got a Kim there. I'm just gonna set that there because I want that on my face. Okay, so there's not room for another spouse of this nature unless he just moved on from one sister to like a cousin or something. I'm gonna assume that LaRue is like a child. Question is this there free? Actually, I think it's gonna be the single. Or a single. Wait. No? Huh. Where'd this LaRue go? I'm so confused. What if I just go him LaRue? Great. Kimberly. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that was a bust. No, we are getting nothing done this time, are we? Giant. What does this do? Nothing. Okay, please and thank you. Oh. My cousin and his ex, Clark never knew my father. Clark never knew his father. Oh, I didn't read this. Okay. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Em and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had this cutesy family band thing going on. Not her finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her younger sister, everything exploded. No more family band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music. Even then, we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes. Something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up, he said he liked it. I took it as a sign that I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. Most of the decade he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. Started, rapper tunes. That. I'll say that for later. He's a much better jingle writer. Better jingle writer than a songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. It's also how my father was connected to the Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls of the record player, but I guess I was never interested. I just went straight for the music, because Clark was paying more attention. His father did advertising. Yippee, guys, it took us all episode to figure out this guy's career. Oh wait, no. We have two guys' careers. And this guy's picture. Did I never put her picture here? Anyway. Who's that other picture? This one. Who the freak are you? Oh wait, I think you're a cousin. Who is the third wife? Actually, no, so we have a lead called Raffertunes. Really weird name. It's okay. Ferdy LaRue. Oh, they got divorced. Did I miss something? All of his old ad campaigns, tunes. Diamond Watson, youngest sister. Wait, so Kim was actually the third sibling? Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh my god. Okay. Oh wait, there's two. Okay. I don't know where I'm gonna get the picture from. Alright, back to the internet. Okay. Parker Fertier LaRue's advertising firm. There's an about page. We find the inspiration for the super famous Super Bowl campaign. Let's see. Super Bowl. Super Bowl ad campaign. I want to see this ad. They don't know what to show me the ad. Where's my search? Below that detail, in more detail, Clark was in the apartment store getting a family portrait with his wife and children. Oh. Well, why didn't they say so? Oh, he didn't age well. Okay, he's in the department store getting a portrait with his wife and children while his wife is trying to get Katrina, his youngest. Okay, so it turns out if you read a little more, things are actually really freaking easy. Because they will just straight up tell you things. You're the youngest. The freak? Why is it all guys? Oh. Katrina. Katrina. Alrighty. Wait. I have an idea. You're gonna just start putting random spouses in here. And if they don't work, well, I guess we're cooked. I don't know. It's okay, because like it that confirms things, right? This is kind of cheating. This is kind of brute forcing. It's okay. It's okay. I know who Brian Jones is. He's married to Stephanie, and Stephanie might be that old. No, wait, they're still married. So we're not gonna worry about them, actually. Different one. Actually, you know what? That's too much work. I'm just gonna go. So these are children, so they're probably gonna be children. Oh. Huzzah. Wait, I was right? Yeah, I was right, baby. Goodness. Oh, lucky guess, I suppose. I guess that's obviously not the Hudsons. Also, wait. Okay, so this is the last of these last time names. So unless this kid took Mother's name, this is gonna be the last Madsen. Okay. Still feel like after all of this, I should have found these two by now. It's okay. We're gonna figure this out. Oh, here we go. Is this what I had to look up? Ah, there we go. Okay. Let's see. The jingle goes, when you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. Okay. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. As he goes on, different things in the store without candy. For example, a bed that the father collapses into becomes a giant chocolate bar. Never heard this Roottrees Maple Crisp. Okay, I guess. Whatever. Okay. I feel like all my progress is really slowing down. I mean, 40 minutes in and we've only, like, solved 4 people. One of which was probably mostly solved last time. Let's look at family photos. I bet I could figure out which one's Lauren just by looking at it. She said they were all in the middle, and she's the only sister. It's this bunch. Them? Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that's Lauren. Yeah, that looks like her. More or less. And this one. Actually, very few pictures from that photo left, unless I forgot to take some of them. Okay, so these 2 are her brothers, and okay, yeah, so that one's definitely Annika, unless she just isn't in the picture for some reason. And nothing about this lady, so I'm gonna assume she's another housewife. Because, you know, detail, first Roottrees woman to not be a housewife. Okay. Let's take a look at our list here. West has quite a few clues in it, apparently. Grandpa, a college professor, he told us history of famous families, printed, blah blah blah. Practice at lecture, things beside candy. His older sister wrote a book. Yes, we know this. Grandpa past, Grandma Laura. Okay. What? Ron Roottrees. Oh. That's unexpected. I'm assuming Ron is one of these 2 because one of them went to film school. And this is the one who went to film school. So this must be Ron. I'm a genius. Booyah. Okay. Still have a 3rd picture row? So this is Clark. Based on his appearance, we could probably figure out which one in this family photo is Clark. This family photo. This family photo. Yes. I'm thinking it's either this one or this one. Given this guy doesn't seem to be very fluffy, he's got short hair. And I guess this one. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Freak. Hello? There we go. Yeah, this... Wait, no. Hair color's slightly off. God dang it. Wait, maybe... Are you Jim, perchance? So no, you're also in the photo. Yeah, he's dressed in, like, fancy schmancy clothing. I'm gonna assume it's that one. What are you? Wait, no. Well, let me go back to this. Their single mother played, their single mother. Wait, who's single mother? I saw this name. How are you related? Start from the beginning. Take it from the top. Brother Trouble was a 1989 sitcom by two 16-year-old brothers about the same age. One adopted. Played by Tommy Mark Sheridan and Dustin Christopher Baker. Their single mother, played by a stand-up Penelope Tessa Green, often had to navigate her job as a magazine columnist, as well as the troubles that come with raising two boys who were in extremely competitive sports. Academics, and even romantic pursuit of their next-door neighbor, Roxy. Showrunner was a small screen director, Ron Roottrees. The show had strong ratings throughout the entirety of season 1, rocketing both Sheridan and Baker to instant stardom, mostly among teenage girl demographic. However, it was canceled in 1991 due to a significant drop in ratings. What's this guy? Oh, wait. Nope. Maybe we'll have more. That's a nice brother. That's also that's not how you spell trouble. Did I spell it wrong? Control C to copy. Control V to paste. Oh, they talk about it in Team Blast. Alright. Tommy Mark Sheridan appeared on cover. Heard times. Had a brother trouble. Issues. Every issue mentioned quite often. Every word, every article. Says fact. Nothing. See relevant. Autographing. Team Blast reporter. You met Girl Malibu. Apparently the cast of Brother Trouble. I got Hottie. She's incredible. One of the creators of Brother Trouble, Ron, married Penelope. Okay. So this is his wife. She has a picture, so she's gotta be relevant somewhere. And Ron doesn't show up in the Google, so... Hello. Tessa. Read. What's another pop? Hold on, wait. I got it. No, I don't have it. Yeah, okay, so I was agree with an E. Okay, so Penelope Tessa Green is a retired comedienne. There is a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. Goodness. Ugh. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers. With more family-friendly materials, you find a picture labeled Jack-o'-lantern in 1997, as well as a picture labeled Jack watching on his mother's charity sets. Jack-o'-lantern. Alright, well, there's Penelope, and that's her baby. Okay, so no, go away. There's the baby. Where's the other baby? Okay, so this baby's up here with the girls, so I'm assuming that's a girl. That is a little lady baby. And you are a child. You know what? You look like a baby, so your occupation is baby. Alright, let's see. Well, what is your name? I'm sure we got plenty of Roottrees filtered out that we could probably take a good guess. Candy could be a cool name. Christina, November. I think November's gonna be older than that because she's in like one of the older photos. Wait, November! The studio! What is it? November. No. Yes, November. Okay. Whose child is she? You know, okay, we're gonna put it in our notes, even though I don't use the notes very often. Roommate. Anyway. November is a dancer? Choreography and all that? Next gen. Shiva candle. Oh. I had no idea what a Shiva candle was, guys. Funeral. Oh, there's just a thing I didn't read. Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie more than anyone else on Earth knew how busy our job could be. Oh yeah, Ernie was one of the ones who died. Like either like a freaking heart attack or got hit by a car or something. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay respects, though it's not expected for those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, so he's dead. Not only for his family, but for his family legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on after taking him over. For him after taking over. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest dreams and expectations. Whatever. One had said, but Ernie and I knew to have been Carl. Knew that it had to have been Carl to convince the trust, and that it is no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. Could never have done without two people. Wait, so she's the one I guessed correctly. Okay, well. Freak is it? I wish I could get rid of these when I'm done with them. At least hide them or something. So, this is Nicole. be in cold. Ah, I mean, cold. It's okay. Now I have our picture. Or probably a spit. Okay. Zooming out. One, two filled out. Let's see. Okay. This is unfortunate, but I think I'm gonna have to end the episode here because it is running on a little long. Let me get to the time screen. Alrighty, guys. This, I think, was sort of productive of an episode. And I would like to appreciate you all for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, bros. Or something. And I'll see you all in the next video.